Greetings again, everybody. Welcome back to Dark Souls. Last time we killed a giant goat demon, and this time we're gonna greet some new visitors because, well, Petrus's buddies have arrived, as it seems.
Oh, hello. My guests have finally arrived. I will be departing with them shortly, so I'm afraid I will be saying goodbye soon. It was a pleasure. Oh, hello. Miracles, I presume? Yes, I know. Rhea is the youngest daughter of the good house of Thurland. Those young knights are her old schoolmates, but I'm not sure what to make of them. I'm afraid they may be a bad influence. Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
Let's actually just go on ahead and meet the new people here. Interesting thought.
What have we here? You look awfully raggedy. Times are grim. The least you can do is look sharp. Don't you dare meet my lady like that. You might scare her off for good. Oh, you again. What business have you? I don't suppose we can help, though. We accompany my lady on her righteous mission. It is quite a chore, but I'm stuck with her, and Nico too. I can't very well abandon them now. Oh, it's you. We're to leave momentarily. The catacombs aren't exactly my idea of a good time, but what can one do? I do hope we meet again. Rary or not.
Oh, he seems like kind of a dick, to be honest,
you.
but also a nice guy a little
Rarian.
bit. I'm conflicted.
You are undead as well? Then we've no time to fraternize. I have my mission and you no doubt have yours. We must not let this curse overcome us. Did I not explain the urgency of our tasks? Or are you so uncouth as to lack such judgment? By the looks of you, I should think not.
They don't really seem to like us. Because we're undead, they are clerics of Thurland, and in Thurland, undeath is considered a disease. Petrus is undead, by the way.
Did you see her? That virtuous little maiden, complete with followers in tow? They're probably going straight to pillage graves. I've heard enough about Milady for a lifetime. Have you been to the ruins of New Londo below? Just head down the stairs and take the lift. It's certainly worth a visit. It was once an undead city. You may find a clue or two, unless the ghosts find you first. How did that nutty sorcerer make it back? Unexpected. But I suppose stranger things have happened. How did that raggedy old chum end up? You know, the one who idolized some godmother of pyromancy. He left for Blighttown, but never came back. Whereas most flee from sickness, he dives right in. Well, nothing will harm him once he goes hollow.
Our new sorcerer friend we met in the lower-rounded burg should have moved in by now. So let's just go on ahead and say hello to him as well.
Oh, hello. I regret meeting you under such compromising circumstances. At least we both made it back unscathed. Incidentally, would you care to learn any sorceries? You're clearly talented, and besides, I owe you. Of course, we will require some materials, but I'm happy to teach you some elementary spells. Are you interested? Splendid. Very well. I am pleased to have a chance to give something back. Well then, let's get started straight away. Have you heard of Big Hat Logan? Master Logan is a great sorcerer and my teacher. Both of us came to this land as undead. But one day he departed, leaving only a note. I suppose he wished to keep me out of harm's way. But where does that leave me? I have dedicated myself to sorcery, but Master Logan could find no use for me. Ah, yes. The note that Master Logan left. It only said he would travel to Anolondo by way of Sen's fortress. I can only guess that he seeks the regal archives. For Master Logan is a tireless pursuer of wisdom. Wisdom trumps all. Everything else is hogwash. When the curse turned him undead, I'm certain that he only felt it was the perfect chance to visit this land. I only wish that I had his courage. 2 things are required for sorcery. First, you must equip a wand. Second, you must attune a sorcery. Then you will be ready to fire away. Oh, and don't forget to aim.
Greeks can sell us a variety of spells, mostly magic missile type spells, which are called Soul Arrow, and also some other stuff like magic weapon, which is really nice.
Alright, that'll do it. That should help you on your journey. May we meet again.
So I've been out doing some stuff to upgrade my weapons, and I see Petrus has returned without his companions.
Oh, you again? Me? I've become separated from my lady. I've scoured near and far, but no sight of her. Where could she have gone? My lady, to think I swore to protect you with my life. Your Highness, where have you gone? I am entirely to blame for this. Oh, woe is me. I am unworthy, deathly so. Oh, I'm sorry. Miracles, was it? Sometimes I lose myself. Pay me no mind.
He seems rather troubled. But I wasn't here, so... well, let's just ask around. Maybe someone else knows something.
You certainly are keeping busy. Care to pay for a useful tip? A wise choice indeed. Maiden Thurland and her followers recently arrived in this land, but she became stranded deep below the catacombs. Her followers either fled or were reduced to hollows, leaving Maiden Thurland all alone. Not a bad tip, huh? A newbar cleric would be replete with humanity. That tip I gave you? I heard it from a fleeing old man. That poor bastard. All his robes and trinkets won't help him now.
You, sir, take all of the cakes. We should probably investigate this a little further, but later. Enough talking, it's time to go down to the depths. We are wearing the black leather set, which is the starting armor of the thief class. And since we're using really light weaponry, and shields of course, we also have the fast roll. The fast roll, well, you get that if you are under 25% of your total equal burden, which in our case is really not much. I am using the Mailbreaker here, which is actually a dagger class weapon, and like all daggers, it's really fucking weak. However, if you manage to backstab and parry a lot, well, you can do some really great damage with them. This one isn't even that good. I'd say the best one is probably the bandit knife, which we could have farmed from those undead thieves up there. But I didn't. Anyway, I just want to show these daggers, or rather the Mailbreaker, for a little bit here before I switch to another weapon. Because I'm really not good using it. Also, it's not very practical in later parts of this area. as I have demonstrated just a few moments ago, we're also going to use a bit of magic here. Spell we're using here is the Great Soul Arrow, which is a better version of the regular Soul Arrow. It's basically really just stronger. It also requires more intelligence. But that doesn't matter. Why would you favor a weaker spell over a stronger one? Ah yes, the Butcher. Let's just kill his dog. Yeah, that's probably his dog. It doesn't respawn, and the Butcher always gets aggroed when we kill it. If we just make a noise to attract him, it doesn't seem to interest him a lot. Only if we attack him or the dog, he gets aggroed. Or of course, if we get too close to him. But yes, the Butcher is relatively simple to fight, easy to dodge, and still you see me die here. Because I tried to parry him, which you can, but I failed. Alright, I tried, I really did. But let me switch to a real weapon now, the Uchigatana. After all, I didn't kill that undead merchant just so I could let it rot in my inventory. The Uchigatana has, well, mostly really wide swings, so it's good against crowds. But it also has this nice thrust you can see here, which makes it also useful for close quarters. And the thrust has really good range. So if you time it right, you can easily kill a lot of enemies from a distance, as they are approaching you. You can parry him, but I never really get the timing right, so I just prefer to wait for him to attack and then go in for the hit. We don't have to fight this Butcher here, but you will want to, because the chest he's guarding has something very useful in it. Also, there are basically two routes through this area. One is rather short and pretty easy, the other one is, well, longer but more interesting. I'm gonna show you both, but first, that chest. And note the curled chain to the right there, just look at it. Gonna be important, I swear. And we get the large ember. If we bring it to Andre, he will be able to upgrade our weapons to +10. And the first path I'm showing you is that one. It doesn't look very safe, but we can drop down here, no problem. On a pile of corpses, really nice. Oh, look at this very pleasant looking fellow. And quite a big one too. But regardless of which route you prefer taking, there are good reasons to always use both. Because here you get the spider shield. Bandits can skip this because, well, they start with the spider shield. But you will probably want it. You don't need it, it's not required. But it'll make things in a certain area a lot easier. But we'll see that. Now, we can easily cheese that rat from here with arrows, magic, also plunge attacks. Almost killed it there by accident. I didn't mean to. Let's just get the hell away from here so we don't have to deal with that in the future. And hey, we are pretty much already there, because this is where we will also end up if we take the other route. So, about that other route. We could drop down here, it would be a little bit faster, but I'm actually gonna show you the whole way. Through that water down there. I highly recommend pulling enemies down there out with arrows as long as possible, because it's kinda difficult to fight in the water, since it's a little deep and you can only move very slowly in it. Now, in the water here, we can only walk. And if we sprint, we just merely run. We can roll in here though. So if you want to move fast, you might want to use that to your advantage. Later in the game, we will find whole areas composed of liquids that only allow us to move very slowly. Hopefully until then, we will find some means of walking a little faster down there. And hey, another butcher. He might surprise you. But if you know he's there, you can just aggro him and you don't even have to fear that he is going to attack you from behind. This butcher here always, or at least I think always, drops an item. I'm not sure if it's actually 100% or if the other butcher can drop it as well. But I always seem to get it from him. Yes, right, it is the sack. The same headgear Steven's wearing. Let's try it out. It doesn't have any special properties, by the way. It's just a sack.
You. Yes, you. Here, over here. Please, you must help me.
If you have to rescue someone out of a barrel, always roll, never attack.
Thank you. I would have been a supper without you. Been eaten alive. I shudder to think. Thank you. Thank you dearly. I am Laurentius, of the Great Swamp. I will not forget my debt to you. Oh, hello there. I'm fine, thanks to you.
Laurentius here is our first pyromancy trainer. We can now access him in the Filing Shrine. Pyromancies are magics that are mostly, well, fire-based. Some of them are poison as well, or other things. But they don't rely on stats. Instead, they rely on the piece of equipment used to cast them, and you can upgrade that to increase the power of your spells. Which allows you to get some fairly powerful ones early on, and hey, this looks like a trap! Yes! I called it, I figured it out. Those blobs are annoying to fight. They sometimes hang on to ceilings and they can't drop down. And if they drop down on you, that's gonna hurt. They also take a lot of damage. Their weakness is fire though. Oh, speaking of fire, yes. Those blobs also have something nice about them though. They can drop green titanite shards or large titanite shards, allowing you to upgrade your weapons either to +10 using large titanite shards, or up the magic, divine or fire path with green titanite shards. And hey, here's actually a pretty good spot to farm them if you're so inclined. I would definitely recommend pulling that guy out, because he will get in the way. You might have seen or guessed it already, but there's tons of those guys hanging from the ceiling. Usually running through there is actually pretty safe. But you see here that, oh god, this can actually kill you if you aren't at full health or if you haven't upgraded your vitality yet. But anyway, from the other side it is definitely safe to run through here. This door, by the way, we can't go through here yet. I wonder if we will ever be. Oh, look what we have here. Our old buddy the rat again. It's pretty possible to shoot at it from here. If you do it right, you can actually also cheese him from here. But sometimes the rat tends to run away, so you can't hit it anymore. Because it's actually not entirely stupid. And this door can only be opened from the other side, so we're not gonna go through here yet. I already pointed out that a lot of the story and lore from this game comes from the flavor texts of the various items. So just let me go on ahead and read out the description of the key to the depths we used to enter this area. Those banished from the undead burg eke out their existence in the depths, a damp lair with no trace of sunlight. Nearly half of the depths form a perilous flooded labyrinth. Now of course that alone doesn't help us much, so maybe we should go on ahead and find some more info on that. Who knows, maybe soon. But judging from that, it seems like people are banished here, for some reason, to the sewers. I'd build a prison for that. But anyway, sewers work as well. And over there actually is another key. Let's read the description as well. Now that I picked it up, the sewage chamber key. In any community, a few bad apples are sure to exhibit insatiable greed. If they were turned undead and banished to the depths, would they reconsider their ways? Use this key to see for yourself. Now after using this key, we are led to a bonfire. Not sure what that's supposed to tell us though. So using that key, we opened the door we weren't able to open a few minutes ago, and we also learned from the flavor text that this is apparently some kind of prison for those not wanted by the society of the Undead Burg. Also of note is the Undead Asylum, another prison, but opposed to this here, the Undead Asylum is surrounded by the Church of Thorland, which Petrus is also a member of, and the Church of Thorland isn't exactly fond of the undead. Now, I did also mention that Petrus is an undead. Yes, if a cleric of the Church of Thorland turns out to be undead for some reason, they put them to Laurentius to help light the bonfires, presumably. Of course, this is just some minor speculation, going by what we have right now. We might learn more in the future. Maybe also not. It is vital to kill this channeler here, because if you don't, he will attack you during the boss fight from up here. So that's one real good reason to take this route. Also the fact that you get to rescue Laurentius. But the boss fight will be much easier if you actually go here and kill that channeler. Also dying stupid deaths. Because I thought the rat was dead when it wasn't. Anyway, shit happens. That way, at least I'll be able to show that the channeler doesn't respawn. Let's just be slightly more careful this time around. Those rats can be a little bit unpredictable at times, but mostly they're easy to fight, and you can always attack them. It's best to just wait for them to attack, and then attack yourself. But that's just common sense, right? We can actually see a little bit of sunlight from here, by the way. That means the description of the key to the depths lied to us when it says that there's no trace of sunlight down here. Check out those crates. You might have noticed that there are a lot of rats here. And you might also remember that rats can actually drop humanity. So if you need your humanity, this is a pretty good spot to farm it. You don't need to ever in the game though. But useful hints for farming. If you want to farm stuff, be it Titanite or humanity or whatever, you should always have certain equipments that increase your item discovery and also have a lot of humanity. If you have 10 humanity, you get a lot of item discovery. But if you have just one, that also gives you a boost. Having a lot of active humanity in the top left, right now I have 2, will also give you a boost to the resistances though. So it's not entirely useless to have that number up there. Oh god, look at this nice face close up. Another rat. I intentionally didn't kill it earlier, although I almost did by accident, because I wanted to show you how to fight it up close. A lot of people seem to have trouble with it, but I think it's fairly simple, and as you can see, it actually is fairly simple. You fight him the same way you fight any other giant rat, by, you know, evading the hits and then attacking yourself. That thing has an axe in its eye that doesn't look very pleasant. But yeah, now I am actually getting close to the waterfall. Luckily I managed to kill it before I, well, accidentally would have slided down. That corpse here, by the way, held the sewage chamber key. And that pretty much concludes the second route through the sewers here. So let's just have a fun water slide down there. Oh, this didn't happen before. Well, what did I do different now that I didn't do then? Last time I slid down, I actually stuck to the left. That's the whole secret. And up ahead is a basilisk. Don't step into that cloud. If you stay in that cloud for too long, you will get cursed. And getting cursed, well, to put it frankly, it sucks. When you get cursed, your health gets cut in half and you can't get any humanity anymore until you get uncursed. And to do that, you either need to go to a particular NPC or you have to use purging stones. Which luckily I have bought one just in case I get cursed here. The secret to fighting the basilisks is to not freak out just because they inflict this horrible status on you if you fuck up. Because you can easily attack them, you can interrupt all of their attack animations, and their only attack pretty much is breathing on you. I think they can also hit you with their tiny little hands, but it doesn't hurt much. So whenever you see a basilisk, run up to it and hit it. Of course, there's a good reason to get down here, the Ring of the Evil Eye. Now, whenever we kill an enemy, we will get a little bit of our health back. And in the early game, that's actually a really good ring to have. If you, for some reason, need souls, this is also a good place to get them. I didn't mention this yet, but if you inflict enough damage to an enemy as you kill it, you will even get some extra experience. Which I am not doing right now. But if we had a little bit of a stronger weapon, we would be able to actually get some more experience out of them. And they give a lot as is already, considering that they're so easy to defeat. By the way, if you get cursed in this area, this happens to you, you turn into a little statue. This is actually another player. It's an online thing. If someone gets cursed in their world, they will end up as a statue in other players' worlds as well. Right now, there's only this one statue, but sometimes when you go down here, you will actually find a lot of them. So let's actually make our way out of this section. It's completely optional, and you don't even have to enter it this, let's say, involuntary way I entered it. But you're going to see how to enter it if you are not stupid in a second, because I'm about to leave it. So right up here, and we are ready to join up with our past self, because this is where I used the homeward bone to return. And really important thing here is that we can go up here now. And oh look, a door. Does this place look familiar to you? It does to me. It's always nice to find little shortcuts like these, because we now have a quick way back to the bonfire and back down to where we have to be. If you are in human form, down between the basilisks lair and the exit, you can get invaded by an NPC phantom. Kirk, Knight of Thorns. There are a couple of these NPC invasions in the game, and because you can only get invaded in areas where you haven't beat the boss yet, you will have to trigger these invasions before you fight the area boss. There's always some kind of reward for fighting these phantoms, which you wouldn't get from fighting human phantoms. Of course, you also, in addition to the reward you would get for fighting the NPC phantoms, get the reward you would get for fighting actual human players. Which is just some humanity and souls, by the way. For defeating Kirk though, we also get his shield and sword. Now his shield is a light shield, and unlike any other light shield in the game, this one doesn't parry, but instead do a shield bash, because there's spikes. So yes, it is usable as a weapon. Maybe I'll use it at some point, who knows? It's definitely possible. Do I spot a crazy guy who set up camp in the sewers?
Aye, Shemai, and good day to you. I'm Donald of Zena. I'm just a peddler of sorts. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them. I'm afraid I don't see anything here. Well, that is a shame, but no matter. No, not to worry. Come back again. I'm always available. Not every trade was meant to be. There'll be more in store for us someday, sometime.
Hold on. There's something here we need to take care of. Yeah, those annoying little blobs. If you don't kill them, they will sometimes follow you right here to Domhnall, which is a rather interesting NPC, by the way.
Aye, Shemai. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them.
He basically sells us gold pine resin and also crystal shields and swords. But the most interesting thing he sells is his equipment, his whole set of armor, which I might get just to show it to you. But let's just buy some gold pine resin for now. I have the feeling I might need it.
Thank you. That was a fine trade. I have this funny feeling we'll meet again soon. And we'll make another fine trade, of course.
Alright, we're good to go. We have everything we need now. Fun fact, by the way. Dragons are weak to lightning, and the gold pine resin imbues our weapon with lightning damage. Another fun fact. Dragons are extinct. Well, you might wonder, how is that relevant right now? Maybe we'll find out. Maybe this is just a red herring. I guess it's not really a spoiler if I tell you that a boss fight's coming up. It's a boss that has, I would say, a rather interesting design. But the fight itself, well, you'll see. Oh, look at that, summoning signs. Or rather, one. We can summon Solaire for this fight. And I said signs because I already knew there was another one here, which allows us to summon Lautrec. I'm not going to summon either of those. We could summon both if we felt like it. But I'm not going to. For a reason. Because the next boss has a lot of HP. And if we summon phantoms, the HP of the boss increase. Which is bad. And hey, let's use the gold pine resin for that one. Something tells me it's gonna be useful. Oh yes, a malformed undead dragon. Let's immediately apply the gold pine resin, and when it slams its body down, run straight for the head and attack. That way we will do the most damage. We can of course attack other parts of the dragon as well, but we're not going to do as much damage. Of course, this is an enemy with a tail, and so far we've learned that chopping off tails gives us good things. So let's do just that again. If we can. As long as we stay at a distance, we can safely run towards him whenever he slams down his body, or she, because I think, but I'm not sure, that at a medium distance we will provoke this attack. Of course, the Gaping Dragon has some other attacks as well. It can attack us with its front claws, it can swipe with its tail, which does great damage and is very likely to one-shot you if you're not very high on vitality. Oh yes, the Dragon King Great Axe. Another weapon we got from chopping off an enemy's tail. It's a dragon weapon, much like the Drake sword, which needs dragon scales to upgrade, so it's hard to upgrade the weapon. But hey, that dragon is almost dead already. Thanks to the gold pine resin and upgrading the weapons I'm using, I'm actually doing decent damage. However, if you don't properly upgrade your weapons, you might take a half an hour to kill this thing. The Gaping Dragon also has 2 more attacks I did not mention yet. One of them is, well, it only does it very rarely, because it only very rarely gets a chance to actually do it. It can grab us and put us inside its chest to chew on us and most likely kill us, but I have not much of an interest to let that happen. The other one is vomiting up acid. That acid, well, will create a giant puddle on the ground, and if we get into it, if we touch it, it will damage our equipment. And in a fight like this, damaged equipment is bad, because the Gaping Dragon takes a lot of hits as is. At this point, I'm pretty much just trying to provoke the acid attack, but it doesn't seem to work. So I think I should just go in for the kill. Oh, hi there, Steven. How have you been doing? I'm really glad to hear that, or see it. So, Steven here has the Dragon King's Great Axe and can actually wield it. It requires 50 strength to wield one-handed. And well, Steven has just that. Whoa, what the hell, Steven? What was that? Well, what are you waiting for? Go on ahead and try it out on some enemies. Closer, Steven. Try closer. Oh, hell yes. Nice. Alright, you did your job. See ya, Steven. That AoE attack with the Dragon King's Great Axe, by the way, it decreases the durability of the weapons, so you don't want to use it too often. But that's the depths for you. I showed you pretty much everything I can show you right now. So I hope to see you again next time. For now though, I say goodbye.